Alright guys, so I'm going to show you the introductory op art lesson that we're going to do in class today. So if you miss it, here it is. And a similar program that is used online to Adobe Illustrator, which is what we would use in the classroom, is Graphit Designer, and it's very similar to Illustrator. So if you don't have a subscription or access to Adobe Illustrator, this is the next best thing. This deals a lot in vector art, so you can do start now, download, get started. It may take a little bit because it is a large program to load. I have found that if I go to download and then use online, that tends to load it a little faster. Maybe not. There we go. And so it's going to give you the beginning. I don't want to install it on my desktop, but you can if you have a desktop to install it too. And so width, height, and right now it's saying pixels, so we don't want to use that. We want to use inches. Unless you know the pixels, and that takes a lot of experience to understand how that works. Width and height, we're going to start with 11 by 8.5, a normal letter. And we're going to hit create. So here's your paper, and then you have your tools up through here and your pages, and then colors, size, margins, all of this here. So right now it says 72 dpi, and normally we want to do 300 dpi. So if you don't change that, it's going to be a very low quality graphic. That's usually what you see normally on the internet, 72 dpi, dots per inch, and that's every little tiny square inch by inch is 72 dots. So imagine that billboard size, it's going to look like Minecraft. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with a rectangle shape today. And over here you can see the opacity and the colors and the blending style. So we're just going to click black for our op art design. And then what I want you to do, and this is what's going to take the most to set up, is you're going to start wider and start going. And fortunately you have to use this tool every single time. You have to go back and click another one. If you click off of it, it goes back to your selection tool. They call it the pointer tool. Same thing as in Illustrator. And with our design here, our op art, we're going to do an optical illusion. So I want you to start slowly getting smaller and smaller, and you can move it with your mouse, or I like to move it with my keys, my arrows. And you're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're going to get closer and closer and closer together. So that's why I'm making it out here, and then I'm going to shift them in a little bit. And this is going to be what creates the optical illusion. So we're using basic square rectangle tool, and we're building our vector shapes, which vector is just flat graphic, flat color. So if I were to extend this shape, this color can extend as long as possible. It's not the same as a raster picture that changes, and you wouldn't know what to put in if you had to continue it, but this you would. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get a little bit tighter, and then what you can do if you want to cheat a little bit, and why not, is you can continue this up, or what we can do is we can select all of them. I hit Control C to copy it. I assume you can right click, yeah, copy to paste. So in Control V or right click and paste it. So I'm going to bring it over here to paste it, but oh look, so if I select off of this, oh, I lost all my selections. So you can click and highlight them, And see how it's got all your rectangles here? And you're going to go up to this little circle and turn those around. So if you hold shift, it'll align it the correct way. And then just scooch them on in. Easy does it. And then I can just add another square over here to finish this up. Okay, the next step is a little easier. I'm going to take my square here, rectangle rather, square tool, rectangle, and I'm going to hit Control C to copy it and Control V to paste it. This time I'm not going to do this illusion, I'm just going to go straight down and just paste again and just keep pasting it. So Control V to paste another time, and to paste it another time, and another time, all the way down. Now I'm going to show you how it's done in Illustrator after this. However, in Graphit I have learned that it tends to panic if you do too many shapes at one time, which is what we're going to do in just a second. I'm going to click and highlight all my shapes. So if I drag and select them all, they're all selected over here. Up at the top here, I'm going to create a compound shape. There's this little button that shows difference. So this shows exactly what it's going to do. I want to exclude every other shape. You can see there if I do difference, it's going to exclude it. No, I don't want to sync it. Oh, Control Z to undo that. I want to use difference, and it's going to exclude every other shape. But see what I mean by, oh no, it didn't do that to these? So either I could do a few at a time, if it'll work, and then just continue down and see if I can do a few more at a time. Or, yeah, see, that doesn't work very well. What I'll do is I'm going to see how far down it goes. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to basically get rid of this shape. I can just hit delete or hold shift and click all my shapes. I'm going to do 3 down and see if that'll work. And then I'm just going to take all of these and bring them up. And then I'll copy and paste it all. But instead of doing that to every single one, I hold shift, or I just select them all and drag them up. That's being a little wonky, but it knows it's in there. So the program's not thinking correctly. So if I'm going to select this and go to difference, it'll work for that. It didn't work for this. Okay, so one less. We are learning. Now with Illustrator, it would do all of them at one time, and then you would have your graphic art and it would be done. And it's just a, something we'll have to get used to doing. So what I'm going to do, since I have this, is I'm going to Control C to copy it and Control V. And I'm just going to line it up as if it would normally be below, because it's basically going to do the same exact thing as it's supposed to do. But now I'm going to have a little bit more spacing in here. So perhaps if I wanted to change that, I could later on. I'm just going to keep going. And the last one here. And there's my optical illusion art. Ta-da! Okay, so we're going to walk you through this in class, but this is the video in case you need it or after the fact and you want to remember what those tools and buttons are. Let me know if you need any help. I am always there for you guys. Thanks!